Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Feature Friday. I'm your host, Dom Slays. And if you don't know what this is an extension of the Music Mondays podcast, where I myself, the host, Dom Slays, sit down and we discuss a lot of stuff. We basically sit down with artists one-on-one. We discuss their careers currently, their roots in the underground, their inspirations, basically a very personal, intimate interview. And for this week's edition of Feature Friday, we have brought on a very, very, very special guest known as 777 Fury, 777 Fury, however you want to address Fury. But with that said, let's pop over to Fury and see how we are rolling. So I'd like to welcome Fury to Feature Friday. Fury, how are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, man, I'm existing. You feel me? I'm here.
Let's fucking get it, baby.
How are you doing, though, my boy?
I'm good. I'm chilling. It's a pleasure to be able to sit down and have a conversation with you today. Lots to
Oh,
talk
hell yeah, it's
about.
about to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Lots to talk about. Lots to discuss. But we'll start off slow. Because there's gonna be some people who aren't aware of Fury and don't know your history. So let's start lightly and talk about who you are today in 2023. Tell me a little about Fury and who you are.
Personally, right now I'm fucking. I don't know, man. I'm a man transitioning. You feel me? Like I'm in the midst of a lot of shit, relocating to Houston and shit. By the time the shit comes out, I will be in Houston. Like my first full day. You feel me?
Yep.
Back in the city.
Excellent.
But like shit, I'm a rapper, bro. Like I'm like the last of a dying breed. You feel me? I like bars and lyricism and all that corny shit. You feel me? It's not really corny, but this generation deems like trying to rap good as like a corny thing now, which is weird to me, but it is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like I don't know. I'm just a rapping with it. You feel me? Man of many talents. Damn near a million different ones. I don't know. I've been in so
Definitely.
many different bags, bro.
Absolutely.
People
Well
just have
fucking
to figure
said.
it out.
Right, right, right. I couldn't agree more. I mean, well said, to be honest with you. And I think that's going to be a great talking point for us in a bit. We can talk about being a full-fledged rapper in 2023 because I definitely think that's worth talking about. But
Hell yeah.
um, so it's 2023. It's the middle of February. You just put out a brand new project. But before we get into current events, I'd like to start from the beginning, and get a little ground laid down for anybody who doesn't know Fury. So, where are you from and how old are you?
Well, I was born in San Bernardino, California, the fucking IE,
Mm-hmm.
dirty as hell. I got like a little crazy backstory about that shit. My mom actually had me, and then she went to prison. And to reduce her sentence, they put in like a prison system where like the women inmates and shit could like have their children with them. So
Yeah.
it was a whole different experience. I was like in jail with my mother type shit for like the first 2 3 years of my life.
Wow. So
But currently I'm in
that's
Vegas and
wow.
shit. Yeah, it's some heavy shit, and we never really got the one on one. So like, I definitely wanted to divulge that shit. Like when we had the you feel me the full the time to really go through the whole backstory and shit.
Yeah,
But I'm
absolutely.
23 right now and shit. Turned 24 this year. I feel like I'm getting old, but I'm really not.
No way. These are totally the good years for sure. The 20s,
You feel me?
absolutely, absolutely.
Like hell yeah.
Okay, so West Coast born and raised. So you're currently in Vegas. Tell us a little bit about what it was like growing up in your early years. How was Vegas? How was the West Coast? What was your experience like growing up?
Well shit. I don't know, bro. What can I say without saying anything that sound cliche, bro? Like really, it was just a regular ass kid experience, bro. Middle class ass family,
Yep.
a little lower middle class. You feel me? Struggled a little bit here and there and shit, but
For
For the
sure.
for like the most part, my mom's made sure everything was solid. Like I always had clothes, I always had food, I always had like a roof over my head. Like never anything like super fucking crazy. Um, I got like a little bit older, and I wanted money because I would like want new shoes or like an outfit that I couldn't afford or whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
So you start hanging out with certain people, doing certain things, and getting exposed to like different shit in life. You feel me?
Right.
And that just leads to like a bunch of shit. So a bunch of like hustling and a bunch of um, felonious acts and shit. You feel me?
Right, right. Yeah, no, that's totally valid. I feel like we all had somewhat of an experience like that, just all different degrees, you know? So totally relatable.
Yeah,
Totally relatable.
but it's like I said, bro. For the most part, like it was a real like normal ass upbringing, bro. Just like single mother and shit. All of my fucking sisters. Like I have three sisters, so I was really like raised by all fucking women.
Right, right.
So like my upbringing was hella different because it was like a lot of nurturing, but at the same time not really because it's like you still gotta teach this little boy how to become a man and like toughen up and be prepared for the world and shit because it's a lot, especially as like a black man like that you have to deal with and understand like you're gonna be the brunt of a lot of shit. You're
Yeah.
gonna like have to take a lot and deal with a lot and be exposed to a lot very early on and be expected to just deal with it.
Right, right. Super unique point there, right? Because not only growing up with like you know, a mainly like women-filled household, but then also being a person of color growing up. You know what I mean? So two different dynamics there. Like that's a really good point. That's a really, really good fucking
I,
point.
I'm not gonna lie, I will double down a little bit and say it's a little deeper. Uh, not person of color, being a black man, bro. Like very specifically a black man, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't know how to put it. Like the black plight and the black stripe is very different.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
just learning that shit, and then just learning how to maneuver through life and shit. And then you gotta learn how to, you feel me, fend for yourself out here. Like so, it was ugly, bro. But at the same time, it was lovely.
Yeah. No, well said. Well said. Yeah, see, because I wanted to give you the floor to say that, you know what I mean? I wasn't gonna jump ship and just go rogue and say that
Uh,
because um, you
nah,
know,
hell yeah.
yeah, like that's all you, bro. So I definitely feel you. I definitely feel you. Really good dynamic there. Okay. Okay. So, um sort of an interesting road growing up, but I know there's a few people that can definitely relate to that, especially the growing up in like a women-filled household is really something different. But let's get to the music. Who were some inspirations growing up? Like not even making music. Like who did you listen to growing up? Like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Like who was your favorite artist?
Bro, to be so honest, it's kind of crazy. Fucking, I was big on like whatever my mother listened to. So like it was like old school R&B, like Teddy Pendergrass, Marvin Gaye, Boys to Men, shit like that.
Yeah.
I didn't really get into hip hop until I was like maybe like 12, almost 13 ish, and then it was all like Lil Wayne, 50 Cent, Snoop
Classics.
Dogg, and then the fucking jerking movement was big as fuck on the West Coast. So then it was like all of that. I remember I tried my hand at like making a jerking song and shit when I was like 12 years old. I was like whispering into the microphone on like some weird ass beat. The song was called "Like a Martian," and I used a fucking a stock image of fucking Cookie Monster as the fucking cover art.
That's
And I
some
uploaded that bitch
rare
to YouTube,
shit.
and I was like, I'm just like some little ass, you feel me? I'm some little ass kid whispering on the mic, talking about some shit I don't even know about, just like making it sound good and shit. Like I don't even know what the fuck I was saying, bro. And it's
Wow.
like, I don't know, like early on, music was just it was just a very fun thing to me, bro. And it was just it's always been fun, but it was so pure back then. Like I didn't know what the fuck I was saying. I didn't know what the fuck I was like doing with rapping. I didn't even know like that it would be something that I would actually want to do with my life. It was just kind of like, hey, I've heard a lot of good music, and I want to see if I could like make some music too. Like I don't know what the fuck inspired me to really like try it myself.
Right, right. Wow, see that's great because we'll talk about your influences more later down the line when we talk about your sound, but those are some real heavy hitters there. You know what I mean? Because you had the classic like 50 Wayne, like you mentioned, and then like the earlier classical acts, especially like somebody like Marvin Gaye. I think that's a really great shout too. Like, because I feel like a lot of those artists, not fully influence your music, but definitely have a little bit of influence in your music, and I think it's a great thing.
Oh yeah.
You
Hell
know?
yeah. Like when I make my more somber shit, bro, like if it wasn't for all that fucking old ass R&B, like that shit about
Yeah.
like being on your knees outside the bitch window, like begging for her back and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that era of R&B, bro. Like
Dude,
that shit
yeah.
is, you feel me? Like I incorporate
Yeah.
that into my music, bro. Like very open, very vulnerable, very like you feel me, bitch. I love you. Come back, bitch.
Yes. Yes, I love that. I love that. So we're totally gonna dive into more of that. Okay, so great influences. Real interesting road growing up. When did you fully start to create music? Because you mentioned you kind of had like a little throwback, Secret Fury lore track where you were.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But where did you actually like sit down and start making music a little bit consistently? Right? Like where did you say like, okay, like I'm gonna make music under a name. I'm gonna go to like a little ass like beginner studio. Like how did this all come about?
I was fucking 13 years old. At the time I already had wrote like a bunch of raps. I've like recorded a little bit off of like a fucking Logitech mic that was like for gaming back then when you like just game on the PC and shit. Everything was just weird as fuck. Every PC had the fat ass back with the big ass like monitor and shit.
Right.
Um so I was like 13 and I remember the homie, he's like, yo, I got a studio we could go to. And the studio was literally just like some dude in his apartment with a laptop and a microphone, pretty much what I'm doing now.
Yep.
But you feel me? He was like, "Yeah, I got a studio we can go to." So we go over there and we make a song. And at that point, I really didn't have a rap name, so I kind of just like came up with one like spot, and I go by Phantom. So then in the verse, I say a bunch of dumbass shit. I barely remember. It was so bad, bro. Like I was like making flips. Like I don't even remember. I can't even remember like some of those dumbass bars. Like I almost can, but like hell no, it's hard. But and then I remember just getting trashed where like the homies that I made the song with were like, bro, you like this is shit. Like they were clowning me.
Yeah.
And it was like, nigga, y'all wanted me in the studio, whatever, whatever. So I took that shit so personally, dog, and I kind of just remember like going back home and being like, yo, like I want a microphone. I want a fucking laptop. I ended up acquiring those things and I literally like never went back to that fucking studio again, just sat the fuck down and would make songs until like 5, 6 a.m., bro. My mom would like walk in the fucking kitchen and shit. Like I'm sitting there at the kitchen table, like on Audacity, bro, like watching tutorials on how to mix and master and shit, trying to figure that shit out.
Yep.
So I ended up making like a bunch of dumbass songs, make a bunch of shit under this fucking name. And that whole time, like I start going on Twitter, I start going on fucking forums and shit like that, sharing my music. And it's the same shit. Everyone's like, "You're fucking trash. This is ass." Blah blah blah. And then there's like those couple people every now and then that'll be like, "Hold on." 12, 13 years old, like if you like clean this up, if you do this, like give me actual like constructive criticism.
Yeah.
So fast forward like probably like a year or so, I'm like 14 years old, and I started like getting really heavy on the Twitter shit. And then I come across like people that I fuck with still to this day, Donnie Hardaway, RJ the Guru, all of that shit.
Shouts out them for sure.
And and like I remember like Donnie being one of the first people on the internet, like on like the whole Twitter community type shit to actually like give me some props type shit and be like, oh, this kid is hard, like this is
Hmm.
crazy.
Yeah.
And then I ended up like clicking with them and connecting with them, ended up joining a collective called No Doms. So I just keep
Hmm.
pushing the music, getting a little bit better and shit. So then around the time I'm like 15, 16, no, maybe I was 17, and then that's when ends came around.
Hmm. Legendary
So
name
then by
there.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So then by then, like it's Junior, Ghost of Blue, Hostage, Left Hand Luck, fucking just a whole bunch of crazy people. Dear God was in the ends at that point. Like it was insane, bro. So I'm surrounded by all this fucking talent. Everyone's telling me like by this stage, I'm already like fucking 4 or 5 years in, writing raps consistently, recording myself, etc., etc.
Yep.
So then I remember I started making that shit with Dear God, and that's when I started like really finding myself again with like the with just like the pure core element of like I don't know hip hop itself and just being like a rapper.
Right.
So like really, bro, I've kind of just been doing this shit for so long that I damn near can't even like trace my origins anymore. It's just kind of like it's just here and there and here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But for the most part, bro, like literally, like that shitty ass studio session, like with the homies and shit, and like them niggas like telling me like, yeah, bro, this is trash, and like clowning me, bro. Like
The
it was
early
so
days.
bad. Like I remember being so mad, like really wanting to like physically fight these dudes, like because they're just like damn near bullying me, like playing the verse and just like laughing at it type. But like not in my face. They did all that shit like behind my back on like some weirdo shit.
Mhm.
So it was just all like it just really put into perspective like, okay, like fuck it, like you guys think I'm that garbage, I'm gonna get better.
Right.
And then ever since then, bro, like it was literally just I was kind of rapping to like prove that I was a really good rapper, even though I kind of didn't even know what the fuck it meant to be a good rapper. I kind of was just like, I'm saying a lot of shit and it sounds good, so I think I'm just the greatest rapper alive.
Right. Right. Wow. That's that is something. That is quite the start. So you've always kind of had this little fire going inside of you from that very day. You know what I mean? Like you
No,
had
yeah,
that like
and I gotta blame, like, not even blame, like, thank fucking Wayne because, like, back when he had like his biggest run, he was at his like peak. He would always just say he was the best rapper alive, best rapper alive, best rapper alive.
yeah.
So when I started rapping, like I kind of adopted that whole mentality of like, if I keep telling people I'm the best and I just keep dropping music, I keep doing shit. Eventually, someone's gonna have to think I'm the fucking best, bro. Like I can't be the
Without a
only person that
doubt.
thinks my shit's good.
Without a doubt. Like that confidence is so key. So so key. Well said. Okay. So that takes us to you maybe about 15 years old or so. What happened after that? When did you become Fury? Where does your name come from? Where did all that start out?
Theory kicks in after like I went under Phantom. I
Mm-hmm.
went under fucking. I had damn so many names. I had Jay Corleone
Yep.
because I was on some like Godfather, like street rapper ass shit, like trying to make trap music and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then I went from Jay Corleone to Jay Smith the artist, which is like just my government name, like my first name abbreviated, whatever, whatever.
Yep.
And I was on some like super lyrical miracle shit, like if you're not a lyrical rapper, you're trash, blah blah blah. Like just one of those corny ass dudes. Like it was terrible, but I was still a fucking kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I go from Jay Smith the artist to Jay Fury,
Huh.
and then and hitting licks and selling weed and fucking bitches and shit like that. And then from there, I remember kind of like I don't know. I wanted to take my real name out of my rap name, so
Yeah.
I just went Fury. And then months and months pass by, whatever, whatever. I'm making more music. I'm getting a little bit better. I'm networking more, and then I start to realize it was hard to find my music. So that's when I have to incorporate the 777 to make it a lot easier to just like search me up and find me in the algorithm and shit like that.
Definitely. Wow.
So it was
Okay.
just like a bunch of fucking yeah, just a bunch of stumbles, a bunch of name changes, a bunch of like almost like mini identity crisis and shit. Like where I'm just kind of sitting there like, okay, fuck, like who am I? Like what
Yeah.
am I trying to like portray myself like as? When people see me or hear me, like what do I want people to think?
Right. Right. Very, very valid. Very
But,
valid.
but it's like I don't know.
Wow, well said. Okay, so that's like such a good origin story. I feel like not a lot of people know about, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like
Nah, definitely not, bro. Like not at all.
that's pretty rare shit right there if you ask me. Okay.
Nah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I've been at this shit for so long, and I've like deleted hella SoundCloud pages. I've fucking deleted music videos. I've deleted a lot, and I regret it now that I'm older and shit. Because like I would love to look back at that shit and be like, bro, what the fuck was I doing? And just
Mhm.
kind of like laugh at it, like you feel me, but just be also like proud of the progress.
Right.
But it's just real like you feel me, hidden Fury lore and shit. You just gotta find that shit or like just know somebody that knows something.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, that takes us to a really interesting place because we also got to discuss a little bit about Michael Jones because I think that would be a very interesting part of the Fury lore and the Fury story here. So, when did Michael first become a part of your crew and a really good friend of yours?
Uh, 23
Actually, hold on.
now. Just joined yet.
Okay, you're good.
Okay, so I was saying around like 2018 or so,
Hmm.
he started like I started seeing his name a little bit because he was like tapping in with some of the homies and shit, fucking with their music. And then eventually like he found like ends and shit.
Mm.
So he started tapping in with everyone in ends and shit like that. And I think that's when I'm trying to recall perfectly, but I don't have the best memory. So I think 2018 was the year like that was the first time I ever actually met Michael in person. A good friend of mine, RJ the Guru, he fucking flew me out to Houston for a week. Or it wasn't Houston, it was College Station. He flew me out there for a week, and we all stayed at fucking me, him, fucking a really great producer named Zapata.
Hmm.
We all were fucking just in fucking College Station for like a week, thugging it out. And I don't even know what it was, bro. Like me and Michael kind of just clicked, like in a way that like no one could have like called or expected. So I ended up going back home after that week. Bro just keeps sending me beats and shit like that. We're working, we're working. 2019 rolls around, bro ends up like joining ends and shit like that. I end up going back out there, and I was supposed to only be out there for like a month or some shit like that, like 2 weeks,
Hmm.
and I ended up out there for like 6 fucking months.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I was just out there with bro for like 6 months, and that's when we went on like this crazy ass run. Like if you go on the SoundCloud, we just have like so much fucking music from 2019, and it was just like all we did was just like wake up, studio. Like it was the same shit every day, but like in the best way possible.
Right. Right. Wow. Yeah, so
And
you
like
guys probably became
those
a
6 months
duo
for
like
sure, like
very
cemented
quickly.
like nah, hella quick, bro. Because even like that 1 week I was out there, he didn't have a ton of engineering experience. So like my process made it super duper easy for him to just like sit in the studio with me and just like knock out fucking songs because I'll just be like, here, I'm gonna do this one layer and we're just gonna copy and paste it. Like that's all I used to fucking do is just record one layer, copy and paste it, pitch down a fucking layer and make it sound all fucking grungy and it was like, okay, that's Fury right there.
Right, right. Wow. So like sort of like the groundwork for your sound almost as well, you know?
Nah, like definitely, bro, because before that, bro, like I was kind of just like bouncing, like producer surfing almost. Like I'm working with this person, I'm working with this person, I'm working with this person, and it would kind of just be like almost like 3 to 6 month intervals where I would just lock in with one producer and fuck with them heavy, and then life catches up to somebody, whatever, whatever. We're not working as much, and then I find a new producer, and rinse, wash, repeat up until I found Michael, and then it's just kind of been like I've just had that gym in my corner. You feel me? Since
Mm,
then.
right. Right. Wow. Huge shouts out, Michael, man. That's a really great like organic relationship right there. And I knew we had to touch on that because we had spoke a little bit about that last year, when I brought you two on the podcast and we did another text interview. But it's really good to rehash that story again because that's one where, um, it's always evolving because you guys are still working together. So I feel like it's always gonna
Hell yeah.
be like it's always relevant. So shouts out, Michael. But wow. Okay, so that takes us pretty far, and I want to talk about the last couple of years for you. Particularly 2022 and this year, 2023. 2022 was a crazy year for you. So let's talk a little bit about that between music, life stuff, everything. What was going down for Fury in 2022, and how would you describe that year for you?
Fucking dog water, like really just ass, bro. But
Yeah.
like it's so bad because like it was so many terrible moments, but it was like throughout all of the chaos, like a good moment would follow up.
Yep.
So for example, I I ended up, you feel me, moving back to Vegas, whatever, whatever. Ended up back fucking single, whatever. So then I was back in the city for like the first month of the year, and then I'm like, my mental health was just dog shit. So I'm like, I
Yeah.
remember I told Michael, I was like, bro, I gotta like just like I don't know, I gotta like pop out for a little bit, just you feel me, let's make some music, whatever, whatever. I'm gonna come out for like a week or two,
Definitely.
and then we can, and then I'm gonna come back to the city, lock in, run up some money, do what I need to do for myself. And then it was like another situation like fucking 2019, bro. I go out there and I'm only supposed to be out there for like a week, and I
Hmm.
ended up out there for like 2 whole fucking months. So in those 2 months, like we ended up wrapping up Be Patient with Me, whatever, whatever, like actually conceptualizing it a bit.
Yep.
Dropped it in February. Got the chance to actually like fucking shoot music videos. I haven't done music videos since like ever, bro. Like I've been rapping for so long, and I think I only have like 3 videos out in total.
Right.
So we got that groundwork in. We got like a basis for like a newer fucking process in the studio and shit now, like with just like the way I fucking mix vocals and everything.
Yep.
But then I come back to the city. Life was life. I was kind of like sitting on my ass. I was kind of like just being hella stagnant, just like being in my head all the time.
Mm.
And then shit started happening with my mother and her health and whatnot.
Right.
And then fast forward to fucking September, she passes away, and it was just like fuck, devastated. But then, like literally, actually, let me rewind a little bit.
Hmm.
I remember being like hella depressed and fucked up. Like my mother was like in and out the hospital and shit.
Yeah.
But Heretic actually had a show out here like on my birthday while like my mother's in the hospital and shit like that. So bro was like, yeah, let's do a song on my fucking set, whatever, whatever. So I ended up doing that shit with him in the midst of like so much fucking chaos. And I'm not gonna lie, like that was like one of the highlights of the year alone, just because like it was my fucking birthday. And then
Mm.
after bro finished his set and shit, like he had the whole fucking crowd sing me happy birthday and shit, like the most heartwarming moment ever. Like bro, like I couldn't have asked for like a better fucking birthday type shit. So
Damn.
you feel me? That was like wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. So then fast forward, like I said, to my mother passing away in September. Right after that, Heretic's right back out here in October. He's like, hey, boom, another show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, like, you know what? Like, I need something for like stress relief to keep my mind like from just, you feel me, like just completely deteriorating and just like fucking myself up mentally. So I'm like, bet, bro, we do another show.
Yep.
And it's just like every time like something like really bad was going on or just really shitty would go on in like life, something musically great would happen.
Yes.
So and
Yes.
it was just kind of fucking, it was so surreal because it was like no matter how much life was whooping my ass, it was like the one thing that I've chose to do this whole time, or that I've like wanted to do this whole time, would like steadily keep giving me opportunities. And it was kind of like, hey, you can sit around and be depressed and fucked up and not do any of this shit, or you can realize that you probably have an opportunity to get out your fucking head, do what you fucking say you love so much, and just like, keep fucking working throughout all the fucking strife and fucking stress and pressure.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the fucking day, like, life is always gonna hit you with some bullshit. Something's always gonna come up, something's always gonna happen. And it's all about how you react. It's all about how you handle that shit and how you, like, you feel me, bounce back.
Perception. Definitely perception. 100%. Like, wow, man. So yeah, like that's why I wanted to touch on that a little bit. We don't have to go into like any more greater detail than that, but I felt like that year was very important for you. Because you laid so much groundwork for Fury the artist and also some groundwork for yourself. Just personally throughout life, and man, it's really an interesting topic because when music or art, and I guess it could be really anything, but when life kind of gives you those small W's when you're really down bad, like when you're really fucking down bad, and life is kind of like,
Yeah.
hey, like don't forget about this. Like that is a really crazy fucking feeling. And
Yeah, bro.
it really is. It really fucking is. And then you're like, wow, like I have no excuse now. You know what I mean?
Exactly, because
Like,
to start this year off, bro. Like the first thing I did this year musically, I fucking fly to fucking Washington and do a show, bro. And like I'm jumping in the fucking pit and shit. I
mm-hmm.
have the crowd like these random people who've never heard of me before, like going fucking crazy. The homie Clint that threw the show, like he's rapping my shit word for word with me on stage and shit. Like it was like just beautiful fucking key moments and shit that like bring me back down to earth and like remind me like, okay, bro, like there's a bigger picture at play and you kind of just gotta like you gotta paint that motherfucker, bro, and you gotta like make sure you're doing what you need to do to like be everything you said you wanted to be.
Right, right, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah. I'm actually glad you brought that up because that was something I wanted to touch on as well. Performing. Like you had a crazy ass performance in Washington and like before we get into that, like let's talk performances in general.
That shit was live, yeah. I ain't gonna lie.
Like how many shows have you done before? What was your first show like? Like tell us about that. Let's start early on in the
I got,
performing
I got,
career.
I got, I could likely count on both of my hands, bro. The amount of times I performed. To be so fucking honest, like I haven't done a fuck ton of shows. The first time I performed was like, actually, bro. To be so fucking honest,
Mm-hmm.
this might have been the second time, but the first time I performed, which is crazy, was July 1st, but the show rolled over into the second, which is my birthday, July 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
So the first show I ever did in fucking Vegas ended up kind of like finishing on my birthday and shit. Like so that was fucking crazy. And then fast forward like a year, 2018, fucking we do some shit called we do some shit at this venue called the Beauty Bar. I don't even know if that shit is like still a thing out here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So we do the Beauty Bar, and when we did that shit, actually fucking Heretic popped out, and that was the first time I ever met Heretic. So
Damn.
yeah, so like the first time I actually like my second show ever for real, like I performed with him, Junior, like Kuma, a couple of other homies and shit. I'm pretty sure like fucking Oni Inc was like either on the bill or just like we all went to his fucking crib. I don't really remember, like bro, like I've done so much dumbass shit. My memory was shot, but you feel me? So
Right,
so
right.
2018, bro, like I ended up meeting Heretic and shit. Like bro could tell you like he fucking that's back when like he was trying to perform in like the ski mask and shit.
Yes,
Like
rare
it was
times.
different, bro. So like I've only performed like realistically like a handful of times, bro. And these last like this year and last year were like really like my first time like performing consecutively like back to back shows, like one every couple months or whatever, whatever.
Right, right. Wow. Okay, so that's a great fucking background. Let me ask you a couple questions. What's your favorite part about performing? Do you actually enjoy performing? Do you want to do more shows?
Um Performing is like one of those things. It depends on the crowd really, bro, because like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I love music. I love performing, whatever, whatever. But with my music, I love when people connect with it. I love when people feel it. I love when people like can sit and understand what the fuck I'm talking about.
Right.
So sometimes I don't care too much about like performing and like having the craziest energy or whatever, because I would rather you hear me or like catch a bar that I said that I thought was really fucking fire than like give me the craziest reaction. Like
Valid.
the project I just dropped with Michael SOS, on one of the songs I have a bar where I go like, bitch, I really rap for real, fuck a mosh pit. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't care for certain like shit that entails a good performance or whatever nowadays, because it's
Right,
kind of
right.
like I never came up off that era of like music. Like
Yeah.
I didn't really listen to a lot of like metal or anything like that where moshing was ever a thing. So as long as you're sitting there and you're focused and you're listening to what the fuck I'm saying, like you know what I'm saying, that's all I care about.
Right.
But I love performing, and I definitely like you feel me like fucking want to be booked for more shows.
Sure.
But I kind of want to tone it down a little bit and probably do like some like classic like hip hop shit, like you know have my DJ with me, probably no backtracks, like just straight beat and me rapping over that motherfucker.
Yep.
Like just kind of go back to playing a part in the culture that I want to like you feel me elevate.
Definitely. I love that. I love that so much. Um, so performing is an interesting thing, but you kind of brought up a really good topic that I feel like we can talk about now is regular rap, quote unquote, and really supporting that aspect of the underground and, independent artists who really appreciate rap like that. So, what is your view on that? Like, you say that supporters don't really appreciate lyrical rap like that anymore, or, um, what's your point of view?
My point of view is like I don't know, like being a good rapper.
Hmm.
I think there's just so many good rappers, bro. Like, and and the and if you like follow me on socials, whatever, like people will peep that like I listen to fucking everything. So
Exactly.
what I identify as good rap is very subjective. Like Gucci Mane is a great rapper to me. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But at the same time, fucking Jay-Z is a great rapper. Like, and you have to realize that when it comes to hip hop and rap music, there's so many different like ways you can approach this shit that it's like there's no clear cut way to be like, okay, this guy is great at rapping, this guy's trash. Like
Right.
no one's trash. Like that's all like a matter of opinion.
Hmm.
It's all subjective. But with this newer generation, I kind of just feel like everyone's like, whenever you say, "Oh, I rap good as hell," or I have bars or whatever, like people instantly look at you like you're corny or like you're this or like that, like because they think you're like trying hard, and it's like you're supposed to, bro. Like hip hop is a competitive like fucking sport, bro. You just like when I hop on a song with the homies, even if I'm not trying to say the craziest lyrical shit ever, like even if it's like some fucking like aggressive shit or if it's like some fucking like vibey sing song and shit, it's always that competitive nature. Like I'm trying to, you feel me, like give this motherfucker my best. I'm trying to
Mm,
go harder than you, if you like whatever, you feel
right.
me. Like I'm trying to top myself every time.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. I feel like that element of hip hop has been lost, bro. Like people are kind of just like so in tune with these subgenres now that it's just like as long as you're having fun, that's all anyone cares about, and that's like yeah, that's cool. But I also am like a student of the craft. Like I like to sharpen my pen. I like to fucking be able to break down my shit and be like, did you hear that? Did you catch that? Like I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
still one of those, bro. Like
Appreciate the
it's
like
like
core of
I'm
it.
young as hell, but like you know what I'm saying. I'm young as hell, but like I'm an old head with this shit low key sometimes.
Right, right. Like, I don't know, there's a couple of like things there that are so important, right? Like I feel like you don't even need to really like the core of hip hop, but you always got to respect it and appreciate it. Right? Like I feel
Exactly, because if you hop in this shit, bro, and you don't care anything for like the roots of this shit or like where
yeah.
it started or like why motherfuckers even like care to
Yeah.
make rap music, like rap
Important.
music at like the core of it all, bro, was like people just like relaying their experience in a way that kind of like anyone can like, have access to. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to be in the hood, you don't have to sell a drug, you don't have to rob anybody, but you can listen to this fucking you can feel like you've done it all or like you have the ability to do all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well
you
said.
don't have to fucking be going through a breakup or some shit to hear like a fucking sad rap song and be like, fuck, like
Yep.
and feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just the human experience and fucking and words and with a beat, my nigga. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, of course, of course. No, very well said. Um, just like kind of group up a lot of artists together when they don't need to be grouped up, right? And a lot of them are very much like they can't be compared. Like you can't compare Uzi to Wayne. You can't compare like
You can't, bro, and you're not
yeah.
supposed to.
Yeah, like you
And
can't do that.
a lot of motherfuckers nowadays try to do that shit. Like so, you have
Yes.
people who like care about bars and shit,
Mhm.
and they try to call everything else trash. But it's like that doesn't serve the same purpose, bro. Like I'm not
Yep.
trying to hear a fucking like a rapidy ass song when I'm like out with the bitches or some shit. Like that's
Yes.
never that. Like it doesn't
Yes.
serve that purpose. So I don't know. So like my shit is very much. I still try to like I try to feed the culture. You know what I'm saying? I try to like the people who care about bars,
Yeah.
but I still try to fuck.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. That's like that's like one of those things too where we can really start diving into your style overall, right? So it's 2023. you've already done so much this year. Like, let's talk about your style a bit because you have a really great core style, but you've expanded and started doing a couple variations of a different styles and things like that. So tell us a little bit about how Fury sounds in 2023.
Fucking jack of all trades,
Without a doubt.
bro.
Without
It's
a doubt.
bad. Like it, like I will say, it almost works against me because in, in this generation, you almost need like a niche, bro.
Yeah.
You need like something to familiarize everyone with. So when people hear you, they kind of like want to know what to expect every time you drop.
Yeah.
But with me, with my music, you can't expect anything because I might give you a project and it might be a bunch of fucking slow ass somber songs. It might be some fucking sample heavy, no drums, boom bap shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or it might be fucking some experimental pseudo R&B hip hop. Like it's crazy. So I've just kind of learned to like just make music. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck the labels, fuck the sub genres, fuck any of that.
Yep.
I just make whatever I want to make, and I put that shit out and I piece it together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And with the projects I drop, everything is like curated in a sense to where it's like even if I'm giving you like 10 different fucking styles, they all mesh well in the grand scheme of things.
Without a doubt. It's all very much Fury. It's just a different um just a little different flavor, to be honest with you. Like it's all very much Fury.
And
So
that's what being a human is. You feel me? Like
yeah.
there's different sides to every person. Like everyone you meet, there's different sides to them. Like the way you act with your parents or the way you act with like your significant other or your friends, like you act differently with all of these people and all of these different like communities and shit. And that's what I embody with my music is like the different sides of myself that like you usually wouldn't be able to see unless like you're close enough to me to see that side or some shit.
Right. Right. Well fucking said, my friend. Wow. Okay. So, like I had mentioned before, you started off this year really hot, and I kind of want to get into a little bit of specifics. So, before we get into your latest project, SOS, let's talk about Past Life for a second. Tell us a little bit about that project. What's the background like?
Oh
How
yeah.
was it creating that project? Where are those songs coming from? How are you feeling about Past
Oh
Life?
bro,
Lay it on us.
past life. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The thing, I obviously I love those songs,
Right.
but the thing with past life is I was a kid, bro. So that's why it's called past life
Mm-hmm.
because outside of that first intro song, which I recorded like the very end of last year or like the very top of this, I don't even fucking remember.
Yeah.
But outside of that intro song, everything else is from like 2017, 2018, shit like that. So if you go on Dear God SoundCloud, obviously, bro, it's so fucking big now. Like you damn near wouldn't even realize it. But if you just scroll and scroll,
Yeah.
like there's a point where it's kind of like I'm the only artist on his whole fucking SoundCloud page. Like when it comes to someone rapping on his beats, I was the only person like really rapping on his beats like consecutively. Like we have almost like etc. etc. So Past Life is really just a compilation project, and it was more so just to, I guess, after bro built his platform and was able to garner the support to where he can like show love to the people that he's always fucked with. He kind of wanted to just put me in a position to score. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And kind of give me that alley oop. So he just was like, "Fuck it, let's like repackage these old songs that no one fucking knows about unless you've really like tuned in
Yeah.
and give it to him." Because there's people literally tapping in with me that are like, "Oh, this song is so fire, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "I made that shit when I was like 17 years old, 18 years old." You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm not trying to take away from the art
Of
or like how
course.
good it is.
Of course.
It's just like you feel me? Like it's literally past life, bro. It's like it's my old shit. Like it's like half a decade old music. You know what I'm saying? Like the things I'm rapping about, the feelings I was experiencing at the time, like a lot of that shit isn't necessarily relevant to my current life, but it is
Yeah.
because it made me who the fuck I am today.
Wow. Well fucking said. Okay. Let's dive in a little bit more. What's your favorite song on that project?
Um, well, fuck the title track, the title track, like you
Yeah,
feel me? That's like the fucking, I don't know, bro. Like that shit is so crazy
absolutely. That one is
because
fucking nuts.
when I'm talking at the beginning of the song before I start rapping, I say it's been a minute since we did this one,
Yeah,
and and then I was like I was about to go off into like a mini tangent. I was like niggas don't, and then I said no, I'm not gonna say shit because I was literally just gonna be like motherfuckers don't even know that like we been did this shit, bro.
yep,
Like when I drop this song and someone hears it for the first time and they're exposed to who Fury is, they're not gonna realize like, oh shit, this isn't just some random rapper that Dear God found. Like they've been locked in for years. Like they have an actual friendship. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like me just making music with a producer. Like I make music with people that I really like fuck with on a personal level, like with people that I would really go to war for. You know what I'm saying?
definitely, definitely, without a doubt. So, well said again. Like, I was definitely curious about that, and I know that people were too. That's definitely a really important project in your library. Um, so following that project, you dropped another banger recently. Actually, very recently. Let's talk a little about SOS, Sick of Sinning. Tell us a little bit about that project.
SOS.
Yeah.
Oh man. I actually dropped a snippet for one of the songs, Run, Troubled Waters. I dropped that snippet in August. Half of these fucking songs I didn't know what I was gonna. I was kind of like bullying Michael a little bit, like let's put this fucking music out. Like I
Yeah.
don't know what I want to do. Like I wanna like package a project together and put some of our music out
Yeah.
because we did have like a crazy run like a couple years ago where we just like dropped EP after EP after EP, and then we kind of slowed that down. Like life slowed me down, life slowed him down. Like it's just regular shit.
Yep.
But I'm losing myself right now. So essentially, I take these songs and I send them to Michael, and I'm like, do the job. You know what I'm saying? Curate this shit from you feel me, track 1 to track 7. Tell me what the fuck you want on there. I think like a couple songs, one song didn't make it. No, a couple actually. Like I don't know. Like we have so many in the vault
Yeah.
that I kind of just like let certain ones fall to the wind until like I figure out a better time to drop them.
Definitely.
But I have Michael curate it. He puts the track list together. Whenever he does that, I go listen to the songs in that order he gives me, and then like I make the adjustments. Like okay, switch this one or whatever, depending on like whatever vision that I'm trying to execute. And it ended up just coming about like almost accidentally, bro, because like I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to drop something with Michael again because we did Be Patient with Me and Houston Heal My Spirit last year.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, bro, it's like it's time that we, you feel me, we give him another one because we only did like two projects last year, and I don't know, like I like to drop consecutively. Like if
Yeah.
it was up to me, I'll probably have like 10 EPs out every year. But
Definitely.
sometimes you feel me, life gets in the way of that.
Yep.
So even the project name itself just comes from like SOS and the artwork. The artwork is I won't lie, it's some AI generated shit. Like I was definitely being lazy with the
Oh
artwork. Like I didn't
shit.
like I didn't want to fucking I didn't want to pay anybody to like draw something up whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So I did like the AI prompt shit, and it's Burning Man, the little fucking you know what Burning Man is with the little festival shit
Yep.
whatever.
Legendary.
But it's tied in with like African tribalism and shit like that,
Mm-hmm.
and just like real abstract concepts. And it's supposed to give you this feeling of like being dropped in like a new world or some shit,
Yeah.
not knowing what the fuck is going on. And it's just like SOS, like a cry for help. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And even like in terms of like the beats Michael will provide for me, like like it's just such an experimental lane of hip hop
Yeah.
that it's like it feels like you're literally being transported somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And you're kind of just like, how the fuck do I like escape from here? Like where the fuck am I at right now?
Yep. Yep. Wow. So yeah, I'll definitely leave the snippet and the link to that artwork and the full project down below as well. But let's talk themes behind the project. You had a wonderful caption you posted on Instagram. Let's talk a little bit about that and tell us the theme of SOS.
But it's just I guess a simple way of putting it, bro, is just like it's like a cry for, but kind of at the same time, not necessarily like a cry for help, and more so just like a moment of reflection. You know what I'm saying? Like just kind
Yeah.
of knowing that like instead of just like expecting life to be better or expecting like someone to come save you, you kind of have to like you have to get sick of sinning, bro. You have to get sick of fucking up. You have to get sick of making the same mistake over and over again and help your fucking self.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
like the whole project kind of pieces itself together in a way where it's like you hear a lot of. I had someone that I was talking to like tell me that the thing about my music is it's very vague, but in the sense that it makes it more relatable because you don't know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about ever.
Right. Right.
And it's like I don't really know how to put it, but it all ties together in a way where it's kind of like you can tell that these songs weren't necessarily made to be on a project, but the way that life works and the way that like I'm constantly always like writing based off of life experiences, it pieces up so fucking well because it's just fluid in the way that I'm like consistently myself and I'm consistently like feeling the same thoughts and feelings and I don't even know how to put it, bro. Like
Yeah. No, no, you're
you
valid.
feel me?
Totally valid.
Like
Yeah.
I could definitely like I could type it out and shit and like give people like these summaries of these projects. But when I have to speak about them, like I don't even really know how to like explain them. It's kind of just like it's literally just the auditory experience. Like you got to listen to that shit and just like
Yeah.
interpret it how you choose.
Personally, in my opinion, I do think you're a great artist. Um, More particularly in the aspect that you put people in your shoes very easily. But like you mentioned, also make it very relatable, right? So you kind of give them like a little bit of a two-way street there. You make it really easy for people to understand where you're coming from. But in the same aspect, people can also relate to some of the things that you mention in a lot of your projects. And SOS is no different, to be honest with you. So,
Hell yeah.
yeah, really well said. Really well said. What's your favorite track on SOS?
Um, I fell in love with a scepter, bro.
Okay,
Or
okay.
not a scepter. I'm drunk. I fell in love with a specter.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah,
Like a
yeah.
fucking because if like it's another thing that goes like into the theory lore shit.
Mm-hmm.
If you know me and Michael's history, we have a project called Home Alone, and then we did two of them. So Home Alone 1 and then Home Alone Volume 2. And on Volume 2, I made a song called I Fell in Love with a Goddess. So it kind of comes full circle like all these years later
Yeah.
because it's like now I'm saying I fell in love with a specter as in like it's actually a song about it has two meanings. The song is about like an actual love interest,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also about like my mother and her everlasting spirit.
Wow.
So when I say you won't miss me like I miss you, more than meat and bones and tissue, like you're more than the and then the bar follows up after that where I go, it's way beyond your living form, still praise or spectral visual. So it's like I'm pretty much saying even when you're not here in the physical, like obviously when we die, we don't know what happens to us. We don't know like uh we don't know if like like we can still like miss our loved ones and even like connect with them whatever like I don't know what the fuck happens
Right.
after you die.
Right.
So it's
Right.
like you won't miss me like I miss you. Like you might be reincarnated right now, you might be living a whole nother life, have no memories of this past life, like so but you're still more to me than fucking just like the physical form that you had on this earth. Like your memories are still here, like the memories I have of you, like that feeling, like every lesson you instilled in me, like you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that goes like for my mother, and it also goes for fucking like any like love interest I might have fumbled. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like you won't miss me like I miss you more than meat and bones and tissue. Like it's just it all ties in so fucking great because it's like you can take it like it's a love song, but you can also take it like it's a song about dealing with grief and having to realize that that person is gone and you might hurt every single fucking day, but life is still gonna fucking go on, and you just kind of have to like be glad that you had those moments and be glad that you even like can recall that person.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. That's like a really good fucking breakdown right there. That was really good.
Yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
like that's the thing about like a lot of my music, bro. Like sometimes it doesn't seem as deep as it is, but I don't know. Like if I could sit here and like break down some of my songs all day and kind of like
Yeah.
add like 30 fucking layers to that shit that you wouldn't even know existed. And but it's like I don't know. Like I like that about my shit because you can still interpret it how you choose.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said, my friend. Wow. Wow. Okay, so Sick of Sinning. Everybody, make sure you fucking stream that shit. Go get it in the description below. Fury's bio as well. Let's talk the rest of this year. Let's talk about the future. Let's see what's coming for Fury. So, it's February right now, and we're about to be into March. I think we only have about a week left of February. So, what's coming in the spring and the summer for Fury? Tell us a little bit about what's coming, or can you?
I'm gonna pull. I was gonna say I'm gonna pull like that cliche rapper shit
Yeah,
and be
yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure.
there is like some things that I'm very excited for
Mm-hmm.
that I can't say are like set in stone, but if they do happen, it's definitely gonna like solidify this year as being one of the biggest years of my whole fucking like career, like my whole like attempt at trying to be a fucking rapper.
Yep.
But outside of the things that I can't speak on, I will say I have another project coming out later this year called Bruised Ego. We like I've fucking teased it. I've mentioned it a million
Yeah, yeah,
times.
that one, man, that one, everybody better be ready for. That one better.
Like that, like
Whoo!
yeah, I sent you that motherfucker early.
Yep,
You already know.
yep.
Like that's one of those ones. Like I feel like when I drop that, it's gonna change a lot just in the in like in this in like the way that people perceive me as an artist
So fucking
because
talented. Yes.
I definitely have like given people a million different impressions of who I am as an artist, and like, and lately, like as you've seen, like I've done trap metal shows and shit like that. I'm like
Mm-hmm.
screaming at the kids. I'm turned up. I'm having a great time.
Fit right in.
But when I get back to my roots and shit, and I like lay it back down, bro, like, and I tone it back down, like, Bruised Ego is gonna be one of those projects where like if you listen for any of like my bars or like what the fuck I'm actually talking, not like fuck bars, nigga, like subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening for subject matter, like Bruised Ego is one of those projects where like from top to bottom, bro, like every fucking song is gonna make you feel something, and if you don't feel something, you're not listening, or
Yeah.
you don't got a fucking heart in your
You're
chest, bro.
lying.
Like,
Yeah, you're lying,
like
motherfucker.
yeah, you don't have a heart in your chest, bro. Like, there's no way you could say these songs don't like invoke
Yeah.
some type of emotion within you. And
Yep.
then I can say I'm gonna drop a project with Dear God again, but this time it's gonna be all brand new shit, like
Oh shit.
completely new music.
Yep.
Um, obviously more shit with Michael, like that's always a
Go to.
fucking a most definite, like that's my brother. Like that shit will happen accidentally, like even if I don't plan it.
Yeah, yeah.
So honestly, bro, just music videos, more projects, like a lot more projects. Like I'm aiming for like about anywhere from like 7 to 10 projects this year.
Yeah, that's a great goal. That's a really, really great goal.
And then likely some Fury merch a little bit later this year once I get my bag back right and do what I need to do for myself on the financial end. Like
Hey.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
like
Yep.
get the people some fucking merch. Like be patient with me merch is definitely like in the fucking like
Got
in the works
to.
in the notepad.
Yep.
Um I have a whole like idea for like some I'm only human shit. Like don't want to go too much into like the concepts and ideas I have right now because I don't want to speak on anything before it's like you feel me
Right,
set
right,
in
of
stone.
course. 100%.
But for the most part, bro, like I'm back in my fucking bag, bro. Like I
Mm-hmm.
really like fully intend to like take this fucking torch that like has been passed down to me and just like run this whole marathon with this shit.
Without a fucking doubt. And we're here for it, man. We're here for it. Let's fucking go. Like that was a really, really motivational conversation. Let's let's start closing out. Let's talk a little bit about um any shout outs and any words of motivation you want to give the people?
I don't fucking use. I don't even fuck. I can't even read my own head. I'm drunk. But this is Faded Decade.
Let's
It's like
go.
one of my favorite
Yep.
fucking brands. They're based out of Houston, Texas, right now.
Yep.
A great brand, great people, all of that shit. Faded Decade. Um, Shout out fucking obviously my brother in arms, fucking Michael. Shout
Yep.
out fucking Heretic because Jesus Christ, I do not know where I would be without these people right now. Um, Shit, bro. Shout out fucking Donnie Hardaway, RJ the Guru. Like,
Oh, killers right there.
like I can go on forever and ever. Like, shout out to fucking Beer God. That's my
Yeah,
brother.
the floor is yours. Absolutely.
Everyone I work with, bro. Like everyone I fucking associate myself with. Like, you watch this fucking interview and you go follow me on fucking any socials. Like, shout out to all of those fucking people that you see me live on my story or you feel me. Like, if my name is on a fucking feature or some shit, like I fuck with that person heavily. Like, I don't do music with people just to do music. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So just shout out to fucking everybody. Shit, shout out to fucking you for having me here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Yeah, and we'll be having a lot more conversations because I have a feeling 2023 is going to be an insane year for you and we're going to need to stay updated. We're going to have to keep having these talks. So huge shout out to everybody that you mentioned there. Do you have any words of motivation for us? And do you have any words of motivation for any new artists out there that are getting into music and rapping in the underground independent scene?
Words of motivation. I'll say just shit, bro. Like, keep attacking this life shit head on, bro. Like I know this shit gets very fucking difficult, and there's things that can really devastate you and fuck you up. But like I said earlier, it's all about how you react and like how you respond to shit. Like anything in this life that seems like it's meant to break you, 9 times out of 10, that shit is not meant to break you. It's meant to build you the fuck up. It's meant to do something for you. It's meant to teach you a fucking lesson. Every person I've met that I've lost, whether it be through just fucking not being able to be on the same wavelength or actual like death or some shit, every loss there's a lesson in there. You know what I'm saying? So take the lessons that life fucking presents to you, learn from them, apply that fucking knowledge and just keep running it the fuck up because at the end of the fucking day, the only person that can stop you in this life shit is yourself.
I
And
heard
then as for
nothing
new
but
fuck,
facts. Nothing but
you know
facts.
what I'm saying? And as for like new artists trying to get into this shit or just fucking trying to push themselves or whatever the fuck, like definitely listen to the criticism, but don't listen to the hate. Like if someone just says, "Hey, you're fucking trash," but can't say, "Oh, the vocals need to be picked up. You need to tie the bars in together." Blah blah blah. Whatever. If a person can't actually critique your shit, they're just fucking talking. Like, because at the end of the fucking day, it takes so much to be able to like take a piece of yourself, lay it down on a fucking record, and then share it with the world. Like, even if that shit gets 5 fucking plays, you still charge yourself and you shared it with like you feel me the whole fucking world, and like anyone can listen to that shit and judge you for it,
Yeah,
and that makes it like a ballsy act. You know what I'm saying? Like to put music out and to put shit out and like I don't know, bro. Like a lot of people don't realize like
without a
yeah,
doubt.
shit seems oversaturated now, but it's like at the end of the fucking day, it still takes a lot of fucking heart to put music out and fucking want to even present yourself to the world in any type of fashion like that. You know what I'm saying?
You
So it's
are
just
spot on.
like you
Spot
just
the
gotta
fuck on.
keep going fucking crazy, and don't be afraid to like sit back, like listen to all your like listen to all your music, whatever the fuck, and realize like okay, maybe I'm not as good as I think or some shit like and elevate more like take notes from yourself. Like if you don't have people around you that critique your shit or you don't have people around you that actually care to like tell you how you can improve, then just fucking listen to your favorites or some shit and
Yes.
find out what they do really well and don't mimic it, but draw
Get
that inspiration from it
inspired.
and
Yes.
make it your own. Yeah, like exactly.
Dude, you are fucking spot on right now. You are spot on right now. That's some shit I tell my artists. I tell the Music Money community. I tell them that all the time. Like, go get inspired by your favorites. Obviously, don't copy them one on one, but take what you like and make it your own. Do your own
Exactly,
version of
bro.
it. You know what I mean? And then build off of that, and then you'll find your sound. Man, listen to
That's
Fury.
the best way to
Listen to fucking Fury. That was like the realest fucking 5 minutes of this whole interview. Man, we've been live for what? Like about an hour and 20, man, and that was so real. That was so real. Good fucking wow. Wow, wow, wow. Great tips right there, my friend. Wow. All right. Where can the people find you? Where can they follow you on socials? What's going on with Fury? Tell us a little bit about that. Where can they find you, man?
Where can they find me? Currently, to be so honest, against a lot of my friends' wishes, only on Instagram at 777 Fury, which is like the three sevens, like the three number sevens,
Mhm.
and then FURY, and fucking everywhere on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, your mother's fucking, I don't know, MP3 player, like I don't know.
Some Deezer shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like 777 Fury, like
Yep.
that shit is everywhere, man. Like
It is.
so, like at this point, I made it so easy to find me. Like you put those three sevens in and you put Fury in, bro. Like
It's there.
I'm the first thing that pops up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like shit.
And for
I'm
all
very
you lazy
accessible.
motherfuckers, that'll be in the description as well. So make sure you go check that.
You know
Go
what I'm
give
saying?
Fury a follow. Check out his Spotify. Check out his SoundCloud. Everything. It's been a pleasure, my friend. It's been a pleasure. This is a great conversation, and I have
Great,
no
bro.
doubt that we'll be having another one this year. Like for sure,
No, hell yeah, for sure.
without a doubt, my
Definitely.
friend. Alrighty. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for your time. We'll be talking
Thank you for
soon.
having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Hold on. Ah,
Hey, yeah, let's go. Let's fucking go. Alrighty.
street.
It has been 777 Fury, Zom Slays, Feature Friday. You can find this on YouTube this Friday. And go show Fury some love, man. Big year. Big year coming up. So we'll be back. Alrighty. That is gonna do it for Feature Friday, my friends. I hope you all had a wonderful stream. I hope everything was really, really good. A shout out to 777 Fury. Make sure you check the description for all of Fury's links and things like that. Yeah, expect Fury on the show a lot more. And make sure you show this YouTube video some love. And huge shout out to Fury. It's been your boy Zom Slays, and we'll see you next time on Feature Friday.